Why do I feel like I linger? Linger between the words to say the words to remember.
Alright gamers, what's up? Today we're going to be talking about a normal ass person versus a frog. Yes, very epic. Alright, so for our normal ass person, I suppose he's not like really normal. He's slightly stronger than a normal person. I guess that argument could be made, in all fairness. And his name is Akanishi Tsutomu from Fist of the Seeker. I quite like the series. I especially like about the series that it is like the precursor for Kengan. So you can really see like the progress. It's kind of like when I read and reread the Baki manga, you see Kisuke getting better and better at like animation and his storytelling and character building and world building. You can all see it improving right before your very eyes. Uh, it's very similar to that with Fist of the Seeker and Kengan Ashura and subsequently Kengan Omega. We even get to see some characters like, of course, Joji and Hosei. We get to see them evolve and like what they were before in Fist of the Seeker and what they are now in Kengan Omega, which is considerably better. But yeah, of course, we're talking about the Roughneck of Atsuji and his powers as far as like special abilities and stuff. It really comes down to, he's a pretty powerful person and he's a karateka. He's first dan in karate. Um, he was actually the apprentice of Narushima before. Like, I mentioned him earlier, Joji Narushima, top 10 best glow-ups of 2019. Like, he went from this to this. Like, that boy got a facelift. In any case, yeah, so we're talking about Tsutomu, and he's going to be fighting a frog. And no, I'm not kidding. Particularly to follow the theme I've started with Baki versus Kengan. Since he was a normal person, I was kind of looking for something a little more his speed. I was thinking of taking a character from Garuden, which is kind of like it's kind of like Fist of the Seeker, how it is to Kengan, where it's like a spin-off, and there are some characters that cross over and it takes place in the same universe, but it doesn't really follow the same characters. I was thinking that could be a possibility. I could take some characters from Garuden, but I found this and I thought this would be funnier. So we're going to use the Kokoe Poison Dart Frog, which is, if anybody has seen or read Baki the Grappler, it makes an appearance in Son of Ogre, chapter 14 and a half. It's like a secret chapter. And basically what happens is they're talking about when Yujiro Hanma was a baby, or an infant, it was the first ever thing he killed. It was the first murder, and he was crying so loud at the time, before he killed the frog, that is. He was crying so loud he was shaking the mansion he was in, so you can already tell this boy, insane. Like, you already know he's gonna grow up to murder a bunch of people and punch an earthquake into submission and, kick a building so hard people thought a bomb was going off. If he's a baby and he's already crying so loud he's shaking a mansion, then that's his destiny. All right, you gotta let the man have his peace. All right. So this frog was his first victim. Definitely not his last, but I digress. The amazing thing about this kill was, well, of course, we'll get to that in the fight, because that's actually why, um, normally, because I'm not joking when I say there's nothing special about this frog in terms of speed, durability, strength. He's just a normal frog. But I do think that this fight comes out to a draw, essentially. As in, I think that Tsutomu is going to crush and kill the frog very easily, but I also think it's highly likely that the frog is going to kill him as well. And basically what I see this coming down to is, you know, it's not really known what Tsutomu's speed is. There's not a lot of great scaling for these early off, like kind of one-off characters. We only know that he's like, bottom tier, like as strong as like a very powerful real life person. We only know that he's that strong because he should be comparable to Koga. Before he took his Kengan exam, before he got confirmed to be like a Kengan level fighter, he should be comparable to Koga because Koga was able to, you know, take down Karataikas. He was a dojo buster before he uh, started joining the Kengan verse, like seriously speaking. And this guy himself, of course, is a more higher tier Karataika. Of course, being a first Dan, he's not some nobody, so to speak, and he was an apprentice of Joji Narashima. And that's the same Joji Narashima that almost put an end to Koga's life, if you remember. He didn't actually have any intention to kill him, but he could have done to Koga what Katsumi did to Doyle. And so he's basically got this frog beaten everything. He's a martial artist. He's a person, which means he's stronger. He's probably faster, very likely faster, and he can take millions of hits from the frog, and the frog will like never be able to hurt him. Um, Whereas the frog, he's dealing with somebody who's most likely faster than him, a hell of a lot stronger than him, and has just about every physical advantage you could possibly imagine. That being said, the reason why I think this comes out to be a draw is because our friend Tsutomu is going to go up and punch it or kick it or do whatever. Karate. Hiya. And that's where the problem comes in. You see, what was so impressive about Yujiro's kill on this thing is the fact that as an infant, he was able to crush the Kokoe poison dart frog in the palm of his hand. Now the problem with this, what makes this such an interesting and utterly terrifying feat, is the fact that, at least according to Baki, I'm not sure if this translates to real life or if this is, exaggerated to some extent to make the feat more impressive, but Kokoe poison dart frogs in Baki, their poison is potent enough that 1 milliliter, keeping in mind that Yujiro crushed the entire thing which has its entire body coated in its poison. Yujiro was able to crush a poison dart frog that 1 milliliter of its poison is capable of killing 100,000 adults weighing 60 kilograms each. Now, for my American viewers, that's about 120 pounds. So if you're in about the 120 pound range, 1 milliliter of this poison could kill you 100,000 times over. And an infant grabbed it, something that's covered in, several milliliters to say the least. I mean, the thing's coating its entire body in this. He grabbed it and crushed it with its bare hand. That's Yujiro. But I digress. You can see the problem. I mean, as a frog, of course, it has small size. But that's only working against it in this case because its small size is what makes it get outsped and outpowered, outstrengthed. Now, of course, his natural weaponry is definitely a bonus. His natural weaponry and his enhanced senses are probably the only reason why I would say that this is even relevant, because enhanced senses might be able to keep him alive a little bit longer. He's pretty fast as far as last second reactions. Of course, they're considered roughly higher end like human level reactions. And their tongues are great. Like if he could actually hurt Tsutomu with his tongue, he's got elasticity, so he'd have a range advantage. He's got the extendable tongue. It's part of his natural weaponry kit. There might even be poison on it. I'm not quite sure how the Kokoe poison dart frog's poison works, but if he could actually hurt him with the tongue, that would be a great weapon to use. It's an elastic. It's fast. It's natural. So it's not like he could ever be caught without this weapon. It's literally inside of his mouth. But yeah, I mean, like literally the saving grace of this entire match, where it's not like, okay, man fights frog, man beats frog. Next, the only reason why it doesn't end up like that is because of his natural weaponry through his poisoned skin. you know, that poisonous skin, as soon as he gets hit. Now, this is assuming, you know, Tsutomu makes physical contact. That's the only reason why, you know, there is a small possibility that Tsutomu could win this. But I would have to say more often than not, it's probably going to be a draw. And this is in a situation, of course, where, you know, Tsutomu and the poison dart frog are, like, aggroed on each other. You know, in a situation where, you know, they're not necessarily aggroed on each other, the frog might win. Honestly, like, Tsutomu may go to pick it up, or he may touch it, or do whatever. He may still hit it, and hit it with his bare hand, or whatever the case. And if he hits it, the frog's probably going to die. But if he just decides to pick it up, or whatever, because it's literally a frog, he's a great, you know, karateka. He's a first dan, so he's not stupid in combat, but his normal intelligence, we have no reason to believe he would be able to spot a Kokoe poison dart frog on sight. So it really all depends on what kind of person he is. To that extent, I don't really know. But assuming he's not psychopathic and enjoys harming small animals, if he goes to pick this thing up, the frog's gonna be fine, but he sure as hell is not. I'm not aware of any poison resistances he may have, but even if he did have them, it'd be quite a bitch to get over something that can kill 100,000 120-pound men. Like, I don't know how much he weighs, but unless it's 100,000 times 120, which he doesn't look like it. He's not morbidly obese / dead. He doesn't look like Oliva after he stops keeping his muscles in check, so I'm thinking he doesn't weigh 100,000 times 120. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I thought this would be a funny little gaff video. Now, of course, I'm planning on doing a few more single set videos, like I plan to return to Bleach to cover the 1,000-Year Blood War End of the Captains. I'm thinking of possibly doing a reaction series to Baki the Grappler and possibly other anime in the future. Of course, I'm probably going to keep up on this versus battle series. I really appreciate it if you guys would, you know, support it. The whole fighter v fighter thing is pretty interesting concept to me, and I'm a big fan of doing stuff like this, you know, debating and stuff like that, discussing. I like watching a bunch of videos about that stuff. So if you guys like that content too, make sure to, you know, hit the bell button, subscribe, leave a like if you liked the video, comment to tell me what you want to see from my videos, what you want to see from this series, any characters you want me to cover. Just leave some kind of suggestions if you really care about, you know, what kind of content I cover. If you are fine with whatever content, then I'm just going to put out whatever I want. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I'm thinking it's going to be a draw. I don't know who I'm going to have fight next time, but I think I want somebody in Kengan to fight a dinosaur. Just because. So yeah, look forward to those 1,000-Year Blood War covers. Look forward to more versus battles. I'm probably going to be covering another Baki character here as well. You know, I'm really hype about that new season dropped. I spent the entire day watching it. Of course, my reactions won't be first time, but that, of course, has to do with the fact that I'm probably going to be starting the entire series all over, and I've already read the entire manga, so it wouldn't be fresh reactions either way. But, yeah, I digress. You know, I'm trailing off. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I bet you don't